Welcome back to the Sinker Guy Garage. Today we're going to talk about shark fishing. I've got a buddy of mine that his name is Paulos Roberts, who is a big game fisherman. We've talked about him on the channel before. He's going to talk about how to build a shark rig, which also is used for tarpon, any other big game that's out in the redfish in the ocean. That's one of the best things about living here in Florida is the ability to catch a lot of different species. This video is going to show you how to do it, how to safely release the sharks for your safety and also theirs. But if you're going to do the shark fishing, make sure that you go ahead and go to the FWC website, get your shore-based shark fishing course taken. Make sure you get that all up to date so you know which fish you can take out of the ocean and which ones need to stay in the ocean. Sharks are a very sensitive subject. We want to make sure that if you catch one, you know how to properly release it. We're not going out every day trying to catch them, but we want to make sure that there's an educational portion to make sure that these sharks are taken care of, along with the safety of all of the anglers. Watch the video, hit subscribe. You're going to see it all right here today. Howdy, howdy.
He's going to show us the mighty Paulos shark rig, so here we are.
So this is a basic surf shark rig, specifically designed for casting off the beach, and I make them out of 210-pound coated wire with a decent sized circle hook on the end, using a Mustad Ultra Point in the 10-aught size. Down in Florida, of course, circles are mandatory for shark fishing. And then the key with this rig is it gives you a good bit of bite protection, a good length of bite protection, but it's not unruly to cast because your sinker is actually going to end up fairly close to your hook. You get some of these big sharks in the surf here, big black tips, lemons, bulls. They tend to get the circle hook in the corner of their mouth there, and then when they thrash, that sinker will jump around, and if this is mono up here, it can often get bitten through. So anyway, that's the finished rig. So I'll show you how we make it. We'll start off with some AFW surf lawn. Like I say, I like the 210. It's heavy enough to land. I've caught sharks up to 9 feet on it, and it's light enough still to work with and supple enough to work with. So I'm going to pull off probably 3 feet or so, maybe a little more. Flip that. Oh, my pliers that have gone rusty. Tuck that back in the hole so it doesn't unspool the whole thing on the beach here. Alright, then the first thing I do is take two of these good sized barrel crimps, and you just need to get the crimps that are recommended for the wire diameter. I'm going to put them both on and hold them on the hook. Alright, the reason I double crimp is every now and again you'll hook something truly special out here, big tarpon, something like that. And when I first started, I would single crimp, and I had fish literally pull the hook off a leader, and it's just heartbreaking. So the other thing I do is we're going to offshore loop. So you're going to go back through the eye of the hook like that, and through, almost like you're tying a knot in the wire through the eye of the hook. And you cinch it down a little bit, come back through one more time in the same direction, and then slide the tag end up into your crimps. And what that does is it creates a nice loop, which means your circle can swing freely, and also takes a lot of the pressure off the crimps when you do hook a big shark. Some of these sharks don't even have to be that big to really put a lot of put a lot of pressure on your tackle. These big black tips will jump and spin and thrash, and they're about as hard on tackle as any shark out there, really. And then using the crimpers, I'm going to go ahead and double crimp that. So that's our first connection: offshore loop, circle hook, double crimp. Down to the other end. All right, what we're going to do now is slide on a small crimp. And this crimp does not need to be even pinched on at this point. It is literally a very tight fitting crimp, and it's just going to let that slide all the way down. I'm going to follow that with a bead. I like black beads. I just like to keep my rigs pretty monotone on the bottom. You could use a colored bead if you thought that would help. And then another key to the rig is a cheap snap swim. that goes on next. And then the other end, we're going to do like we did with the hook. We're going to put 2 barrel crimps on and a strong swivel. And again, we're going to offshore loop. We're going to come back through the eye of the swivel, cinch it like it's almost a knot, come back through one more time, sink that down to the end, and then pop the tag end again up into your crimps. Now you can crimp your crimps together. I like to space mine out. It's a completely personal choice on that. Crimp those down nice and tight. There. So there we have the leader with an offshore loop and double crimp hook at one end, offshore loop and a strong swivel at the other. And then sliding on this line now is our crimp, our bead, and our snap set. And what we do then is just set that crimp as far away from the hook as we want it. On a nice calm day, like today, you can go a little further apart from the hook, and what this will do is when the shark is shaking his head and kind of doing his thing out there, it'll keep your sinker a little bit further away. If you're casting into a headwind, if you're casting into the wind blowing onto the beach, you can shorten this down. It'll give you a little bit more chance of the sinker acting as a disgorger and pulling the hook loose as the shark thrashes, but having the weight and the bait close together will mean you'll get a better cast into the wind. So today we're going for a fairly long length, so I've got what, about 10 inches, 11 inches there, and all we're going to do is lightly, in the middle of this crimp, is just lightly pinch it. It's not so it damages the wire, just literally so it acts as a stop for our snaps. And that is the castable surf shark rig.
Oh, that's on. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, I think we got a shark. Fresh ladyfish head. Yeah, he's coming in. I'm waiting for him to fight again. I said, Paulos is going to tell us how to properly handle these. And here he is. We got to our shock leader. Just going to let that wave bring him into us. Let that wave bring him in. He's going to want to go back out. Let that wave bring him in. Nice shark. Also going to grab the leader. My job is to help.
Nice, big finetooth shark. Actually, they don't get a whole lot bigger. So we're gonna keep the shark in the water if at all possible. Certain species, of course, you have to. Take your eggs for that. And you always want your fish lay on belly. We're gonna go going from the front. Circle hook is perfect. Perfectly in the corner of the jaw. Confidence, take it up. And if I can just say the reason we go in from the front, you go to the side, that shark can go side to side. From the front, you cannot come forward. Okay?
That's quick.
Gorgeous, gorgeous fight for the shark. Of course, there's only one safe end to the shark. The tail. He's got a little bit of fight left in him.
Oh. He wants to swim. There he is. He knows we're helping.
I don't think I could have butchered that release any more than I did. But... keep it tail.
And there he goes. Safe release of the shark. Exactly how you do it. Not sitting on his back, taking pictures. Look at that. Fish lives.
Coming back to you, what a great day of catching sharks. We ended up able to pull a black tip in, 2 fine tooths. Had a great trip with Paulos, and I thank him. Make sure that you hit subscribe, turn those notifications on. We'll chat with you soon. If you have any questions, let us know. Feel free to come visit us over at www.thesinkerguy.com. Have a great day.